Hello, YouTube. I'm eating. Croncy's going to the bathroom. We're going to talk about medical and our experiences in 4.3.1. Well, that's what I want. Question is drop rate on like a boss type thing, or even just a regular mob, like ace pilots. Hello, YouTube. How's it going? Breakfast, lunch ish, in between breakfast and lunch. What do you sell the clothes for?
Alrighty, nerds. Hello, YouTube. How we doing? Oh. I cannot hear you.
I was muted. Sorry. I'm
Ah,
back.
okay,
I have
sweet.
all the posts and everything, so we're ready to go. YouTube's live.
Yeah, sweet. Easy.
1 minute. I only ate a little bit of this, so I'm just gonna eat a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave the rest for after. You ready? Your intro today?
Yep.
All right. I'm putting it up. 30 seconds. $15.
Oh, 7-star citizens, and welcome back to Answer the Call, your weekly Star Citizen call-in show and podcast, where myself and SaltEMike complain about some things. I was going to say everything, but some things.
I don't have that much to complain about today. Are you going to complain about medical gameplay? Is that what this is implying?
No, but if
Okay.
if neither of us are going to complain, it's going to be a really boring episode.
Well, no, I'm not going to complain about too many things.
But if you're not familiar with Answer the Call, this is it's a podcast plus call-in show about Star Citizen where we let you guys call in and talk a little bit about whatever we're talking about during the week. Which this week we obviously had the big 4.3.1 patch be put into PTU,
Yep.
and a bunch of stuff about medical changes. Which we were right, Mike. A lot of the stuff that we talked about in last week's podcast was correct.
Yeah.
Our predictions were essentially right, or at least what we wanted, at
What we
least in
wanted,
some
yeah.
capacity, did in fact happen, which is pretty cool. But before that, how was your week? What'd you get up to?
Horrible. If you can't hear it still, it might still be there. I went to hockey after the podcast last week, and they were like, Mike, did you get sick last week? We all got sick. And I was like, no. And then Tuesday, I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I basically, I don't know if I have or had COVID, but it felt exactly the same, and it was just. And then Emmy has the exact same symptoms that she had. So yeah, it's was not a good week, but then feeling better now, and got into 4.3.1, got into the medical stuff towards the end of the week. So early part of the week sucked. End of the week was not bad. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad of a week. Had some lovely, great work drama with our bosses trying to use AI art, which was great. Loved that, and that definitely went very well. And there was no backlash at all.
Yeah.
Other than that, a solid week. And this was one of the first weeks where I was able to actually find some time to play, and so I was able to put in a couple of hours yesterday in the PTU, which was great.
Oh yeah, nice. What?
Yeah.
How do you want to start with the PTU? Because I think it's like the least conversational. There's not a whole lot in the PTU. One new mission currently. It will extend throughout the PTU, just to be clear, but currently one new mission. What'd you end up getting into? Did you see? Yeah, go for it, and then I'll bring up the notes or at least my visuals of what I got, some of the stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So at least for reference, for patch note wise, they were like, all right, well, look, we've made some changes to ASD, including new mission to open up the third wing. However, it is not done. There is more to come. I mean, we're still in wave 1, right? Yeah. So it'll be a little bit. I do like that there's a little bit of mystery still to it, but I did get very frustrated. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, when I accepted the mission and I read all the text, and then he also sends you a thing in your journal about the information, and I got so hyped. I was like, oh, I'm invested. And it's like, oh, but by the way, you're not going to be able to actually do anything because half the mission isn't in. It's like,
so we got everything that was in that mission. We did it.
All the way. Yeah, but I assume not into the third wing, right? Because you can't get into the
third wing doesn't exist. But the stuff in the mission, get these samples or whatever. I'll try and try and find it. I'll switch scenes back.
The reagents.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were able to do it, because while we were doing it, everybody was saying that they were struggling with the same issues.
Yes, the power plant. Oh, no, not power plant. The reactor.
Yes,
is my understanding, because that's what we had problems with until someone came in and said, yeah, your reactor is just bugged. I was like, great, we just banged our head against this at the wall for 40 minutes. But yeah, everyone was saying you got through
after many tries, so I'm gonna try and find it. But yeah, this is definitely spoiler alert if you don't want to learn the puzzle or understand the puzzle, because it was not very well explained in the here's basically a little bit of the description, right? But here's where we're at. We did these, which were all pretty basic, and then we got to this fuel reactor, and it's this is me not understanding what's going on, and they're like, just supply the fuel reactor with plasma, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, sure,
just do it.
And like me and Druval here, we were trying to do it together, and
Mhm.
well, Druval had the mission. I didn't yet. So it was like instead of me going through all
Okay.
6 to get there,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, do it. This was my biggest issue. Let me scroll back just a tiny bit if I can.
Mhm.
And hit
Yeah, so
pause.
just quickly, immediately, that is not what, like, any of my, thingies looks like. You'll notice, like, the big red glow.
You didn't have any of
Uh,
that? Okay.
no, so my understanding is if it's blue, it's bugged, and just won't work. If it's
Ah.
red, you can get it to work.
Okay. Here's what tripped me up the most. This little
Mhm.
map. So
Mm.
this faces left, obviously. But this also, like, this circle is facing left back to where you came, where like the big worm spawns. But
Yes.
when I
Yep.
go right this way and fix the tube, this thing says charged. And so it's like,
Mm.
wait a second. And then when I clear, this says obstructed. So everybody has seen it. It has these rocks in front of the doors. And when I clear
Yeah.
the rocks, it never says open or unobstructed or anything like that. So this remains red. Hydraulics is
Yep.
always saying malfunctioned. So we're like, we were just like, what is going on? And we were getting stuck on the map.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
here's all you have to do. Again, spoiler, 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 spoiler. It's very, very simple. You fix the tube at the top with a salvage tool.
Mhm.
You mine the rocks away, and you put 2 plasma things in. One, let it close, boom. Take and then take another one, put it in, let it close, boom, and then you're done. That was the puzzle. But it just says just put plasma, so you think I put the one in and it explodes, and you're like, wait, what did I do wrong? It's like you didn't do anything
Yeah.
wrong. You just didn't do a second one. But it never tells you that you needed to do that. So yeah, it was a
Yeah,
disaster.
that's so like yeah, so we kept on seeing this and I'm like, surely, surely it's got to do with the hydraulics, right? Because it's like the obstruction section is clearly bugged, but we've cleared the obstruction. We've repaired the thing at the top, that's done. And so we just kept throwing our face at the wall trying to find out how to fix the hydraulics. Because
Yes,
like yeah,
because
we
it
would
doesn't
put
make
it
sense. The
in.
map is like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. And also like everything you've done so far in the puzzles, it's like here are the issues, solve the issues, you're good. So where's the third issue, right?
Yeah.
Um cool, love that.
I think this is it completing, which it like completes
yeah,
so fast too and uh unexcitingly. Like
yeah,
also, oh yeah, there was all these extra things in there too, and I was like, do these need to
yeah.
come out? Are these blocking it? It was just the obstructed word was getting me so screwed up.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, like the Twitch player is very difficult to see
yeah, yeah.
if we can get it right, but I think this is the one where we complete it, and we did the last puzzle too, which was even harder to figure out.
Okay.
Oh no, this is where I died. Oh my god, yeah, I ran through there as the
You
thing was
fool.
exploding. Yeah, and let me tell you something. I turned off all sound. I didn't say anything for about 15 minutes after this. It was so frustrating, but yeah, we're already on like the
I was gonna
reagent code
say,
here.
I was
Here we
just
go.
about to say, like, maybe you are just bad at the game. But to be fair, I had someone come in and like before I even got there, they were like, "Don't go into the center when it does the
No,
big
yeah,
explosion."
I've died
So I was
in
like,
that
"Okay,
same
yeah."
spot already one time before. I was just like trying to figure it
Oh,
out, and I just wasn't listening to the sound because it was just so
yeah, yeah, yeah,
frustrating. I think this is the completed
yeah.
one.
Okay,
But yeah, so it's just all right. We do the puzzle or we do the pipe, and then he's already breaking the rocks, and it's like all right,
yep.
let's get the plasma cells
The plasma.
in. I got to put a tractor beam on because you're like constantly switching between the tools.
Yep.
And I waited for the
Yeah,
thing because
wait
our
for it to
suits
go. Yep.
were getting hit a lot. Oh, my character would not move quickly. I was like freaking out.
Yep, yep.
That's
So you put
one.
in the one.
Yep. And I'm getting ready with the
So
other
you
one.
wait for the first one to explode. Is that the
Yeah.
idea?
Yep. So boom,
But
it'll probably go
why?
like right now. I think what happens is it like pushes the plasma through the other way. So that's one, and it's like you could see it
Hmm.
charged up. See the lights at the top? And then I
I
put a
do,
second one
yeah,
in.
yeah.
But like look at the map. I'm like, nothing says
Yeah.
there's no green. What's happening? But then this one goes and it's like, oh, we did it. And this is the only time that we did it
Weird.
in this order, too. And
Yeah.
Phil from CIG was sitting there and going, I can't tell you if it's a bug or not because you've never done it right. And he goes, and everyone I'm
Yeah.
watching hasn't done it right. Boom, there it was. It was just like, oh, we're done.
Okay.
And then we just move on to the
Yeah.
next spot. So then it says
I
like
will. I will
retrieve the
say.
reagent
I will
codes.
say. We definitely today, because Sandy just wanted to see them explode a bunch of times. We did try like multiple times putting the like in a row putting the plasma in. It just didn't work. So it
Yeah.
also definitely does just bug out.
Yep.
In addition to that.
Yeah, I think they're aware of it because
Yeah.
he was trying to keep an eye on all the streams. Like he was like, Knebel hasn't figured it out yet. Spooner's
Yeah.
doing it wrong. Like he was just saying nobody has done it right yet, and like he was very good about not telling anybody, which was awesome because that would have been super lame.
That is
Obviously,
good, but like that is a problem. Like that is a puzzle problem, as in like that it should not be done like that. Let me tell you. So, Mike, as you know, I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons
yeah,
fan. There is a full like session thing that you can do called Tomb of Horrors that
okay,
is designed to just screw with the players. And there is a puzzle, and this goddamn puzzle. So without the module does not tell you at all to do this. But you find a key, and it's got like it's got like a little skeleton thing on it, and then you find a
okay,
keyhole, and it's got a little skeleton thing on it, and you're like, oh,
okay,
okay, put the key in. The DM is then instructed to tell them, yeah, so it didn't work. Like you turn the key, nothing happens. You have to turn it specifically 3 times. Nothing in the module tells you to do that.
yes,
It's just that's the answer.
yeah,
And that's in a thing that is deliberately trying to fuck with you, right? That's what that is. That's what the thing that you just described is. It's like why nothing is telling me to put in 2. Not only is it not telling me to put in 2, the first one I put in blows up, so immediately my head's like, that was wrong,
yeah.
right?
It seems like a failure.
Yeah.
So there has to be like to me there has to be a very clear indication that the first one charged it by half or a percentage,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, and I think maybe that's what those lights were supposed to be at the top, but both of them were on. I don't know, but it's also just there's so much noise and so much stuff going on around you that
Mhm.
like I'm looking at the thing that's supposed to tell me I'm doing it right and nothing has
Yeah.
changed, so I'm thinking I'm doing
Yeah.
it wrong. like
Yeah.
like we knew the steps were very clearly fix the pipe,
Yeah.
remove the rocks, put the thing in. Everyone figured that out. Everyone
Mhm.
got stuck on right after that because it was just like, wait, what? But yeah, the next part is way cooler, and I don't want to spoil it because it is very simple once you figure it out. Should I spoil it? I don't know because you haven't seen it yet.
I am okay with being spoiled for this because like it's gonna happen to me anyway. But for
Yep.
everyone else, I guess spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. I don't know what we'll do when we come back from the spoilers, but this one it's so simple once you realize it. But
Mhm.
let's see. Let me try. I'm just gonna try and get to the right part of. Oh, that's us already done with it. Okay. So end spot the power core. There are 6 platforms, all labeled 1 through
Mhm.
6. And it was me and Spooner came here because Spooner was like, we can't figure out we know that our plasma thing is bugged just the same way you did. And he was like,
Yeah.
do you mind if we come and do this part with you? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I also knew that like we were going to need people to pull levers. So on each thing
Yeah.
in the center, I'm going to it's very hard because the VOD's really long. I'll see if I could find any levers that I had clicked. It's hard, but it's like right to my right here, so maybe I'll look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like each spot has a lever. You pull it down, and there it is, right to my right. And when you pull the lever, your platform turns green if you pull the lever at the right time. It's very simple
Mhm.
to know when the right time is. You do, there it is. There's the lever. You do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you do 1, then you do 2,
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
do 3, then you do 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that lights them all up in green. Now
Mhm.
we had some of the levers turning off, and when we completed this, but let me find a good spot to pause here. Then, uh, that's a fairly good one, but let's find a better. Um, but basically, yeah, like it's very important that I pause in the. Okay, there you go. So where it says reagent code, there's 3
Mhm.
yellow like prongs that come out of the center thing. And if you've ever done the main mission, you know where you go to turn, like grab the card out, the last final mission,
Yeah, yeah.
number 6.
Yep.
So this is not where that's, like, it says reagent code is over here. So you think, all right, we turned all the green lights on, bam, the reagent codes are going to be there. They weren't. So we're like, what the fuck?
Okay.
And then somebody went to that spot in the front, and there's a button
Mm.
to press there. So you
Okay.
it's like you connect, because when you look at the reagent code, it'll say no connection or something, and then at the very front
Mhm.
of it, you connect all 3, and once all 3 are connected, same thing. It's like a very unfinished system right now, where it's like
Yep.
I don't even go up to the reagent code and collect it. It just um the data, the download thing just goes, and then you're
Yeah.
done. But we're not done yet after this either, I don't think.
Mhm.
After we completed this, there was one more step. Let's see when it completed. Somewhere around here. Um, so yeah, it was like, it turns out to be really simple. All right, it completed right about here.
Mhm.
Um, so this is where it was, the connection, but I think it was already connected.
Yep.
And then
Mhm.
boom, like they were doing it while I was looking at the thing, and it just finished.
Yeah.
And then he, like, all right, we're in the engineering wing, right? Now he's like, all right, go to the research wing. Like this
Yeah, yeah.
one mission is so long.
Mhm.
So we go to the research
Which
wing.
is great. I
Yeah.
love that because one of my biggest complaints about the whole ASD was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. At least there's like a version of it where you can just do it all.
Guess where the research wing brought us? It, it actually brought us to the Vandal. So
Oh, like
this,
straight to the Vandal like floor.
yeah, and
Okay, cool.
actually the meat box,
Mhm.
that's what this is about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
which makes
got there.
sense.
This was bugged. We got
Okay.
there. There's no meat in the box, but it's saying it's
Mhm.
full.
Yeah.
So I clicked the button and it finished, and this is the end. There will be more after this, but this was it. Done.
Yeah.
And then like the mission just did nothing, completed. And yeah, like Phil saying in the chat right there, new wing won't be in this PTU.
Yeah, yeah,
And
cool.
then, we were kind of like trying to figure out like what's the deal with the issue here.
Yeah.
But that was it. So
Yeah.
very cool, but
Mhm.
a little bit of additional stuff. Have you seen the zombies?
Zombies.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Um
Well, just quickly, what I was gonna say is like, yeah, so the new wing isn't in the patch,
no.
but at the top of the research wing, there is like a little hole in a wall that you can like go
Yep.
through to get to an elevator. There's a
Mhm.
bunch of like corpses and like we call them like not med beds, but you know, like the trolleys and stuff. And it's like, I forget what it's wing B. No, not wing B. I forget what it says.
Yep, you're right. It's something
Site B, Site B.
site B, yeah, something
Yeah, it
B.
says Site B, but you can't actually go through it. It's
Correct.
the elevator doesn't work,
That's,
which
yeah,
is yeah.
that's the next spot or whatever.
Yeah.
But we find out a little bit through this
Mhm.
what his intentions were. So
Yeah.
more spoilers. Yeah, those are zombies that are begging to be killed.
What?
And yep. Yeah, just go to research wing in this room. They're all
Yeah.
there begging to be killed because he is using Vandal tech to try to create unkillable like humans or whatever
Yeah.
is what he's doing
Which,
now.
yeah. So,
And you hear about it in this log that I'm listening to.
well, you also hear about it in the mission description and in the journal as well
Yep.
that you get.
Yep.
So, I got
That was the
really
result.
excited. I got really really excited from the lore like throwing out that was happening with this mission and whatnot. Um, yeah, no, this is sick. I'm really really excited for how they're evolving with this one. And we have some predictions. So, yeah, they're using the Vandal tech, right?
Yep.
Is the whole thing in the I imagine there's more of it here, but like in the once again in the mission description and in the journal, he's like, yeah, like I'm trying to do some shady stuff. I'm trying to make humans better than they were.
Yep. Yep.
Like I think he even uses like the term evolve and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I think this is how they make the player characters differentiated from NPCs. I
Well,
think
this is
this is
definitely
the
resource or excuse me, regen crisis type. Like I wonder if he
yeah
caused something, right?
yeah 100%. I think they're going to use this as a lore reason to take back some of the lore about regenning and not actually have it available to every NPC ever, because that ruins the stakes in a lot of cases for like if you are trying to set a story, if people are just respawning left and right, it's you don't care as much, right?
Yeah.
But you can do that for the player characters. The player characters are allowed to respawn. We're special and cool, and like every other MMO has done that.
Yeah. You're the hero
to some
usually.
regard, right? Yeah, you're the hero, and so you have something special that keeps you alive, which in our case would be like being able to regen, at least to some extent, right?
Mm.
I did not know that. Obviously, yeah, I did not know the thing about the zombies because the other prediction was just going to be, yeah,
They're
we're just
making
going to fight
all
some
sorts of
weird
weird
human
sounds.
vandals.
Yep. They're making
That's
all
so
weird
sick.
sounds
Right.
and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to go back down there after the podcast today. How do you get to this area in research?
Well, I just followed them to be honest.
I think they're running out now, so I might be able to figure it out.
It's the med lab, so I think it's floor 7.
Yeah.
It's wherever
Okay. Interesting.
No, 8. There it is. Floor 8. Yep. So you just jump down the stairs and stuff, I think. It's pretty simple. Yeah, it's where the legs
cool.
spawn.
All right, cool. So yeah,
You
definitely
jump
have to
down
go
the
down
stairs
there.
and then go upstairs, but now there's like a new way to get there in the PTU.
There is
Yeah.
the orb. There's an orb.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
My God, the orb is so cool.
Do you know what the orb does?
Yeah, I do. When we first saw it, I was saying to chat, "Oh, it'd be really funny." Oh, someone told me it would kill you, and I was like, "Nah, it'll probably like let me fly," and then it did.
Yep.
It's an anti-gravity
fly.
orb.
It kind of pushed me.
That's because you had too much speed there.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful because of the way that low grav works in the game. It's like any momentum you have, you'll keep, right? So you have to like really slowly go into it, and then you can control yourself.
But I went
this
right
one
through
was
it
cool.
There.
Yeah, you had too much speed going down, so you're going to continue going down. Kind of like, yeah, if you jump into zero grav right now in the game, you'll just continue flying that direction.
Yeah, like
right?
do you see them? They were like EVAing through it.
Yes, yeah, that's what it lets you do.
So you can get from one floor to another, but it can't take you from the bottom up because it stops right there.
Yeah, which is a shame. And it seems I would have loved if there was a secret floor that you could access with it, but it just lets you access all the regular floors. Unfortunately, we finally did it just before the podcast.
Nice. There is
the amount of times I tried it yesterday.
There is an empty floor of some kind still, so there's more to come. There's more to come.
Yeah,
but yeah, so not a whole lot in the PTU you'd think, but there is a lot at this location for this stuff. Like there's quite a few new things added that are there, like even something I skipped, like the beginning puzzle of the connecting everything together and stuff like that. I don't know where that is, but
Yeah, the big thing is that like everything we saw in the original 4.3 PTU, that like all of the buttons and all that sort of stuff, like does have a purpose and is
Yep.
used for these missions
Yep.
and does work, which is great because historically, CIG would just like leave them forever and would never use them and they'd be pointless like things. But no, they had a purpose and they work. Well, work.
Yeah,
But
kind of.
they are used for a mission, which is cool. And then the facilities themselves also just like got a big pass, so they're a little bit more full in some areas and all those new things. So
Yeah. And
um,
there's lots of
yeah,
maps that like map screens that tell you, or like
hmm
diagnostic screens that tell you if you're doing it right or wrong, except the one that we were using was telling us we were doing it wrong when we were doing it right. But
yeah,
outside of that, yeah, it was working pretty well. I came unprepared without a multi-tool, but I was able to find them. And
yep.
yeah,
You can
so
also craft them there, which is good.
you cannot craft the tractor beam attachment. That's
You can.
bugged. No, the icon is there, but I clicked it
Yeah,
600 times.
it crafted it for me yesterday. If you just
Wasn't for me.
craft the if you just craft the multi tool, comes with a tractor beam attachment.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I already had a multi tool, and I just tried to craft the attachment, and no
Yeah,
go.
yep,
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, if
yep,
you scroll down and try and do the attachment, it just clicks and nothing happens. It's a bummer.
yeah, fair.
But yeah, and then there's another puzzle here, which is pretty simple.
Yep,
And yeah, I don't want to spoil everything, but it's all good. Did you see the
cool stuff.
NPC reinforcements?
I didn't, but so that is a big like thing though. So NPC reinforcements were first introduced in like 3.17 or something. It was a very long time ago.
Yep.
It would have been whenever we first got outposts.
Yeah.
And they were super janky. When they did work, sometimes they wouldn't come out of the ship. Sometimes the ship wouldn't come and fly down; it would just sit in atmosphere.
Oh, well, guess what?
And then
That
most of the
still
time, it wouldn't
happens.
work at all. Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they've re-added them, but I believe it's only to Pyro and it's only to the settlements that have the big radio
Towers.
towers, right? Because you
Yep.
can turn them off.
Correct. So the big radio towers look like this. It appears that there's only one at this location, but there are actually two. It's just really far away.
Mhm.
I think I'm at Golden Riviera at the moment. Okay. And kill a couple NPCs. I believe this is the one that works.
Okay.
But I had one where you remember the old days where the NPCs would land on top of each other's dead ships over and over and over again.
Just blow
So
themselves up over and over.
somebody blew up the ships on
Yep.
one of the ones that I went to yesterday, and they were still there. And I killed enough NPCs. If you guys aren't familiar and haven't played the game in a few months, there's a new quantum sound when ships quantum in. It's like, poof, right? Like it's very loud, very obvious, and like, oh, something's happening. And I heard that sound. I looked up. I saw two cutlasses, and they like kind of dove down and then flew away. And we're like, yep, no room for me here. Also, don't climb the ladder. This thing is an elevator.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't know that. They were complaining they were dying on the ladder to NPCs.
It's always had an elevator.
I know. But everyone was like, and then getting shot and dying. And they're like, what the hell? Why am I dying? So, yeah, this is where you turn off the thing at Golden Riviera.
Yeah.
There, way far in the distance was the other one. But I think this is where I got it to work. So let's see. Yeah, see, it's all the way over there, really far away.
Yep.
Am I dead? This might have been the one that failed. I'm not sure. Because I want people to see him coming in because it's quite cool for the people who've never experienced it.
Yeah.
But it's such like a short little thing. Yeah. There's no fall damage in the PTU, so I'm just jumping off of everything.
Oh, did not notice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Let's see. Do I go to other locations here? No, this is where I go straight into Onyx. So let me see. It's got to be around here. Is it back? I don't know, but it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while I'm looking for it, What was your experience on the med gel side of things?
Do we want to talk about? Yeah, I'll talk about my experiences first, but we definitely want to talk about the actual like the
Well,
big 2 pages that we got. Um,
100%.
just about medical gameplay. But yeah, tested it out really quickly. Um, I It needs balancing a lot. The numbers don't make a lot of sense in terms of like how
That's the
much they
best
cost
way
and
to
how much they
describe it.
heal. But I was glad that they put numbers on them because you know what's really easy to, well, hopefully really easy to change. It's hard to tell with Star Citizen, but hopefully really easy to change is numbers and that they can be balanced in some sort of way.
Yeah.
So the actual like mechanic itself, I'm kind of okay with. As always, CRG want to physicalize everything, so we have to carry these giant USBs to put into the med beds. Um, very the beds themselves are very buggy in terms of actually trying to put them in and stuff. Uh, uh, but like it worked for the most part. Sometimes I couldn't tell how much leftover
Yeah.
med gel was actually in the thing because it was just bugging out like that as well. But the concept I'm into. I love the idea of things requiring resources, which means it's not just like infinite. You're
Yeah.
not going to be able to infinite respawn forever from the same location. You're not going to be able to infinitely heal from the same location. Even is like a good concept. And so yeah, they just need to see how we play with it and then balance it accordingly.
Yeah, and I think we could definitely talk about how it is in 4.3.1 for a few minutes before
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go into, like, we don't necessarily have to dive into that post about the current because we've experienced it. Um,
yeah, yeah.
I I'm not sure because I'm also still looking for the NPC reinforcement thing. I'm not sure if you covered like it costs 100K per respawn and
Yeah.
50K per any heal that you do
Yeah,
because
that
each med gel
it makes no
costs
sense money
100K.
wise. Yeah,
It's tough because things are like you make 100K per mission now. So the word expensive is weird. I also agree with you. I
I
feel it feels too expensive.
yeah, I
But
will say 100K for a respawn sounds good.
okay, the 50K for a heal is weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's where a lot of the balancing needs to come from, right? Because yeah, regardless of the tier, the same amount of gel like heals the same, like just all your wounds.
Mm-hmm.
But then also you're still kind of incentivized sometimes to just backspace because like I believe it's what? Yeah, 50K. Is it 50K per injury or is it 50K all
50K
your injuries?
flat. It doesn't matter if you have a
Yeah.
tier 3 injury or tier 1 injury. The game doesn't notice or care. And it's just like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. I also
Yeah.
don't okay, so I don't think 100K for a respawn is that expensive either.
Mhm.
What I don't get is there's no basis in any reality of why. Like, it doesn't say what it's made from, it doesn't say how it's made,
Sure.
it just is 100K. Like,
Yeah.
obligatory Eve explanation here is
Yeah.
there's very little things that aren't based off of, like, the price of minerals, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you start there like, you go differently in Eve than in Star Citizen is the players decided those prices, but
Mhm.
or currently decide those prices, where early on they may not have. But this game is just like, yeah, 100K sounds good. And it's like, what? Because, like, okay,
Yeah.
100K does seem okay for a respawn, and it doesn't sound too expensive until you start thinking of, well, like, an entire load of ore in a prospector is
Mhm.
less than that sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, now it doesn't make sense because the
Yeah.
effort to get that versus they're they're not making sense. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's the part where I'm
Yeah.
like
I
trying to
yeah.
justify it, and it's like it doesn't feel too expensive because we have so much money. The people who are saying it's expensive probably don't have much money on their account or don't play, and it's just like, oh, none of this is making sense. Like, it has to be
Yeah.
based in some reality, and it's not.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's another, I guess, hopium actually, but I think the numbers are purely PTU. Let's chuck it in, right?
Hmm.
If anyone out there's
Yeah,
never played PTU before, you get 15 million UEC
yeah,
when you jump into the PTU. Money is irrelevant for the most part, unless you're trying to buy like a 890 jump or something.
yep.
Um, uh, and the amount, so like because it is related, is like like how much the healing happens, right? Because it's all like flat, the money also doesn't make sense. Like the cost of the med gel doesn't make sense. Like it should be the case that a resurrection, a literal eye respawn, should cost more than healing all of your injuries all the way tier one. Like I've got
Yes.
every part of my body is tier one. That should cost to heal. That should cost at least a little bit less than respawning. Is
Hmm.
just it just makes sense, right? Because otherwise people just all right. I'm just gonna backspace, right? We're just gonna jam. So yeah, I'm hoping it's just test bed numbers, and
What
that would make a lot more sense.
what would
Yeah,
you want it to see be? Because I have a different solution where the 100K can stay, but
sure.
it would make more sense. But go ahead. What do you think the
I
number
mean,
should be
yeah,
at?
it has to be like 100. Like I said, 100K for a respawn. I think is kind of fine. Even the example you just used of like, you go and do a prospector, what, like 40-minute trip or whatever, and
Yep.
you get your money. If you do like an okay mining trip, that's going to be a little over 100K.
Yep.
And that's fine, I think, right? Like that in my head, that amount of effort for a relatively safe task of like doing a mining run should be worth about that much, maybe.
Yeah.
The problem really just comes into when you then implement all of the healing injuries and then that not making sense with the dying. So I want to see all of those numbers change more than anything,
Yeah. What do you want
and
to
then the
see?
money, like whatever. But I don't know. Like I want to see it. Like I want CRG to take the data of how many injuries we sustain and then base it on that, right?
Yeah. Do
Like
more.
base it
Yeah.
on gameplay.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. And then just personally, from the respawning standpoint or even healing, um,
Mm,
essentially, even if you do one heal, you have to replace a med gel. So it almost makes
yeah,
it so in a multi crew situation, you need to dedicate some loser to sit there and constantly put gel in there. Like, who the fuck wants to
yeah,
do that? That's like just a really shitty experience. And I would much rather spend 500K, a million on
hmm
one of these med gels, put it in, and it stockpiles a decent amount, and then I'm able to respawn there a few times, and then we can go into the future aspects of the game,
yeah,
post in a minute. Where okay, well they have 5 respawns. Like, can I stop them from
hmm
respawning if I want to? Sure, but I would much rather that where it seems incredibly tedious to
yeah.
deal with this medgel stuff, and I would much
hmm
rather not have that um happen.
It's
Like
also
Citizen
it's
Ryan
a
in chat says,
system.
just replace the gel when you spawn, and it's like, no, no, because like in the
um,
future, I'm gonna have to be
yeah,
replacing the gel, getting my ammo, getting my armor, getting my new like no, like after tier 0,
just
it's
don't
not.
die.
Well, yeah,
Get
just don't
good, just
die.
don't die.
That's the
Um,
most important one.
the reason, like once again, like why I like the concept, but why it's going to be awkward for a while as well, is because there is currently the only incentive not to die currently is loss of time, from like coming
Yeah.
back from where you were.
Love the fact that it's costing money. Love it.
Yeah, I love that it's costing money, but it's still the incentive still isn't enough to make me not want to die, if that makes sense. Like it's it really comes down to like what have I lost in terms of the actual things that I've been doing.
Okay.
Because if people will prefer to lose time over losing things, if that makes sense. Because the amount of time that you may have spent getting
Yeah.
XYZ armor piece or whatever is like significantly more. And obviously, right now, it's just irrelevant. You'll just keep everything. So, this is a system that like needs to work in the current game and then be able to be balanced when tier 2 comes out, which is mentioned sort of in the monthly report this month. Um, So like, what do you do for that? I
The
guess is kind of sort of what I'm trying to say. Like,
Everything
how do
is
you get it to
contradicting
work in
itself.
both?
Like
Yeah.
the insurance system doesn't make sense with it. Like
Mm.
I don't know I would love to be a fly on the wall with their conversations, but just have like a giant hand that I can have and just be like, "Yo, psh, what are you talking about? This doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense." Like, come on.
I will
uh,
say, like, so yeah, like one of the cool things though that did come out of this week is when they did the two website posts, and one of which is like the here are our plans for
the
just
future.
medical, like respawning was like most of it. Like, here are our plans for respawning. They did kind of like sort of touch on it. Is like, here is why you might want to respawn XYZ location or whatever, and what your benefits might be for that. So obviously they've got that stuff planned, or at least concepted somewhere in some capacity. Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows to what extent? They said it's in development, but I feel like in development means we had one single meeting about it. I have the reinforcement video, so let's get
All right,
that
sweet.
out of the way real
Cool.
quick. Just skipped a little bit too far ahead. But yeah, so this is very similar to what we had seen in the past. For whatever reason, I think only one showed up at this place,
Okay.
and it might have been because I turned off one of the towers. I'm not sure.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So I think I might have already turned this tower off, so only one showed up. We
So does
might
it,
be able to
other
see
than
it.
the towers, does it appear to be basically exactly the same what we had like 2 years ago when they first introduced it?
Exactly the same. Yep.
Okay.
It just they function, as you can see.
Yeah,
They left
and you
and
can
then they
turn them off,
snap.
which is a cool concept. Like, since they introduced Pyro, we've had these towers. They have had the panels that say reinforcements, and you can turn it off and on, but nothing would have happened
Yeah.
until
And
now.
there he
So
goes.
yeah, cool. All
Yeah.
right, sweet. Well, yeah, I mean, I like that as a mechanic, so I'm glad it's coming back. Just give us some
No, I
give us
didn't
some
turn.
better missions at these locations.
That's me deactivating the first one, so I didn't turn it off. But
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. But it is cool, and I just
Yeah.
want to, yeah, like I think you had just mentioned it's cool, but I don't see the practical use case for it at the moment yet.
There needs to be like reasons to stay here for longer
Yeah, I
that you
think
want to go turn it off, right? But like
like
all the missions at these locations you can do through pretty quickly, likely before the reinforcements get anywhere close to you.
I'm not sure if there are. I don't know who this channel is, but I just found them. I don't know how they've 20 plus thousand views on every video in the Star Citizen category for cargo hauling. And it's like, these are the
Mhm.
channels that I watch all the time. It's like Min Min or something is the name.
Okay.
And they're doing like, they show like cargo hauling routes. And the first thing that came into my mind was, oh, there are CFP routes and there are headhunter routes. But I
Mm.
wonder if there's some like crossing that you could do with them. And if you are associated with one of those factions, well, you might want to make sure that no reinforcements can spawn while you're loading your cargo, was the first thing that
Mm.
popped in my head. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that was that. I don't know if we want to jump back into medical or what next, but that was that working there.
I mean, yeah, so that was like the primary changes to medical. The rest of it was just them sort of talking about what they may do in the future. They were very explicitly saying this is not the end of Death of a Spaceman, but I still think, as we've mentioned multiple times, as I think most of our community knows, Death of a Spaceman will not look like it did when they talked about it first in like 2014, 2015. It's not going to be remotely the same.
I think it should
Um,
literally disappear, but that's me. I think it is the stupidest idea ever.
I still think there's ways to do it that are cool and fun and not like super brutal backbreaking. But
Mhm.
it's not going to be like what it looked like 10 years ago.
They keep saying like that's the risk, and it's like, guys,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the risk needs to be our ships, our money, our components. Like I can't keep beating this into you, and I
Yeah,
won't. I will keep beating it, but it will never get through. They have made their mind
yeah.
up, and they're not coming off of it. And I don't know how long I'm going to be a Star Citizen creator for. We'll see, because I'm not going to play I'm not going to play this game that they want us to play. I don't
Sure.
think it really comes down to how everything's implemented, obviously.
Mhm.
But I keep looking at this and going, I don't know how this is going to work for me. It just
Yep.
does not seem like the right risk and reward. But I don't know where.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess this is the
So
best
yeah,
place to
quickly,
start.
yeah. Yeah, so they talk about imprinting at multiple locations,
Yep.
which cool, sweet. That's a cool idea. They then talk about like when you die, a new UI will pop up where you essentially choose the location that you respawn at.
Yep.
They have a
These are the
lovely
choices
flowchart
that we
there.
have.
Yep, yep. So
This is
there's that. Yep.
this is
They
huge.
they talk about things you'll be able to do at the med beds. The auto med gel, I think, actually had me like sort of partially most interested because they also then later talk about like having an imprint at like a player owned like hospital, basically, although
Yep.
it's presumably would be like an Apollo or something.
No, no,
Being
no. I
able
think they mean
to
base.
yeah, bases as well.
Mhm.
And then presumably also like space bases and whatnot, space stations.
Ah,
But the having the auto med gel being a thing that like you can control is kind of cool theoretically, and it being kind of like a timer. Like this is essentially a timer. Is like yeah, I can respawn maybe once every 30 minutes, but I have to wait for the auto med gel to come back type thing. So I really like that. It's cool. There's some interesting ideas here.
do you know what I think this is?
Well,
We're selling the Apollo. The Apollo has to be better than all the other medical ships. This one will auto do the med gel, and we are purposely going to make the rest of the ships incredibly tedious and fucking annoying to deal with. That's what I think.
ooh, I
Bet?
All right, hear me out. Hear me
You want
out.
to do a bet? You want to do a bet?
No, I don't want to do a bet. No, because I
You
think
got
you're
to be a
probably
med
right
runner
in,
for
in some
all of
respects.
of
But
4.3.1 if it's not like this.
no, I was gonna say like I don't think you are necessarily wrong. I was gonna say I think there is a way to make that not a bad thing. Um, like the Apollo should be the best at healing people in ships,
Yes.
and right now all it has is just it is some beds. So
I think the
I am
Apollo should
okay.
craft the med gel.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was gonna say like no, I even disagree with myself. I was gonna say like maybe the Apollo already has like the buy like a 32 SEU of med gel and it'll start to auto refill itself. But everything that has cargo should just be able to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know. I don't
I'm just yelling at somebody in chat real quick. Give me 1 second. You know what? No, I'm just gonna call them out now.
know.
People calling loops tedium. Ha 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 ha. What about buying a box at a shop and then inserting it into another box is a loop?
That's also crazy. If you get like any medical player in here and just be like, nah, you've got your gameplay loop. You're done. You're finished, mate. That's all you need.
What?
It's crazy.
I don't.
Insane. Anyway, stop reading it, Mike. Stop reading it.
Yeah, no more chat. I'm not reading you. Goodbye, chat. You're gone.
So yeah, love temporary imprint. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Deleting imprints
Yeah.
is cool for a couple of reasons.
It
You
sounds
could
like if you're the
obviously it'd be
owner, you could do
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yep.
But there could be some things
Some
with
hacking.
maybe
Yeah.
that like let you delete some imprints. That'd be very interesting, right?
Mm.
So
Well, funny that you say
yeah.
that, actually. None of that is listed here. Right? Like, I would have loved to see access to MedBed by hacking or something.
Well, I think that just would be theoretically delete imprint.
You gain these
Manual.
abilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's still, maybe that door's still open then.
Yeah. Yeah. It being disabled, cool. Disabling by event is interesting. Especially because they keep talking about an event coming up soon. So maybe they'll actually implement that sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
And then player defined UEC fees, aka charging people to use your beds, is very cool. Obviously, system UEC fees, like they could the only fees we have right now is like a fake tax for sending people money, right? I don't think there is any other fees like that in the game at the moment. So There's been like that sort of the classic money sink of like if you're always taking 5% money from people, people always have a reason to continue making money.
Yep.
Um, we just don't have enough of those sort of things, so that would be good.
This is one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there is feedback to give of like what you don't like, but I can't
hmm
think of a situation where having a fee or having a cost associated with your death, even though this is like the most simplistic cost associated with your death
hmm
existing, is it's hard to argue it's a bad thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It's all just like here. This one's
These two
almost
are
like a
important,
design
I think,
document. It's
too,
just like stuff they want. Yeah, for sure.
for
Because that
pirates and
like
stuff.
the exactly disabling it through distortion or soft death means you're actual like in combat. You have a reason to go after the Apollo. You have a reason to go after the Carrack or whatever that's bringing people back.
Idris's
Um,
and
yep,
Polaris, like now you have a more clear way of dealing with them, and it doesn't involve
yep,
you blowing them up. That's my favorite part about it. Is
hmm
it prevents the like, oh, I'll just kill them.
yeah,
When this kind of stuff comes in, because in 4.3.1 you're still just blowing everybody up. Like there's no
yeah.
real gain from going in there. You can take their
hmm
med gel out, but that's a lot of work for 100k. I don't know.
Which
Permi-
also a relevant note is like the fact that the Medgel is physicalized means that it can be used like traditional loot theoretically for Star Citizen. It also means we could theoretically get like one of these Medgel USBs that is higher quality and like technically has higher gel quantities and stuff. So
yeah, density
there's
or
a lot that
whatever.
they can now do with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's definitely what I want to see is just
hmm
let like I should not constantly be having to put those things in. I think I should load it up,
Yeah.
prepare myself, and then do what I set out to do. Right? I think that's
hmm
way better. This is also kind of a big deal. It because I think this will be associated with every other aspect of the game. Is permissions. This is the first
Yep.
example of what permissions they want to do. You,
hmm
everyone, people on your friends list. So your friends list all of a sudden matters, and you
hmm
accept or not accept people
Yep.
based on permissions that you have. Party members and org members. So
Yep.
that's all good to hear. I don't know if there's
hmm
anybody else that you would think to add to that list, but that list seems fairly
Yeah.
comprehensive to me.
You wouldn't necessarily need to put enemies on the permissions because you're not going to give them
I
extra
think
permissions
individual
that you're not going to
names
give.
would be the only thing I would
Yeah,
change.
yeah, yeah. I think that's reasonable. Like specifically, I want this person alone to be able to do X, Y, Z.
Yep.
Yeah,
Org ranks, but that is definitely under org members or whatever. So
yeah,
this
yeah.
is the regen interface that you talked about,
hmm
which is
Which
interesting.
notably rip this player. So you'll
Yeah.
notice that like obviously they've died. The middle one is their base, and it is unavailable because it's been destroyed, which
Yeah.
implies they left their base, they went out to do an adventure, died, and now their base, like they just find out through
Their
their
whole
death
base
that
is
their
gone.
base is destroyed. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, this is just a mock-up. It's cool. Yeah.
Yep.
We're not gonna get this one for a while.
My take on this was if you're willing to do this,
hmm
then maybe you're also willing to do the thing after you choose the location, and it's
hmm
more Eve Online like multi-fitting, and it's like, all right, well, I just died. So I also want to claim my ship. I also want to
hmm
put all these, all the items that I've lost on my ship from its death and all the items that I've lost on my character from my death. I want to use my
Yeah.
presets. I want to go with those, buy everything from the location that I'm respawning at and go. Right. And
Yeah.
then because again, I have reiterated this every week for the last forever, is the reason I believe that people don't want to lose their stuff is because they're physical items and it's a pain in the
hmm
ass to replace them. And even if you took the time out to buy hundreds of Morozov armors and the types of guns that you like and all the ammo, that is not worth the effort of what you get from tier 0, tier 1 and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
if you were able to just click a button the money was deducted to replace those things. Again, we need more money sinks, so this is a
Yep.
good one. I was when I see this, I go, well, you can have a, after Tarkov death menu as well, and just
Hmm.
go right in, or an Eve Online fitting menu, and just you could do all that stuff while you're dead and while you're on your loading screen to respawn and
Hmm.
go, because you're on a loading screen. So you might as well
Yeah.
make it interactable and usable, and then boom. I don't know.
Hmm.
So I continue to think that this will be a possibility, but that is
Yep.
1,000% pure copium, and will never happen. And it's why I feel like I won't enjoy the game that much at some point.
Yep.
But we'll see. Rescue beacons, they're just basically like, sorry, they're still going to be shit.
Yep.
And a note to first responders, like, we love you, but sorry, they're still going to be shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was that.
Yeah.
Like, they want to do something in the future, but it's not in the cards right now, which is like, yikes.
Yeah, respawning is their priority right now, which, like, fair, respawning's been pretty shit for a very long time.
Yep.
And is obviously a very large part of medical gameplay. So
yeah. Any additional stuff on that? For me personally, like, Hannah came into chat the other day and was like, so thoughts on medical stuff, and I was like, yeah, all sounds good. Just don't have really much to add. It's just a matter of doing it.
yeah. Yeah, and it's going to require a lot of balancing, like I was saying. It's the numbers do not make a lot of sense right now for how the game plays, and even how it should play in the future theoretically. But we've also only had 2 PTU patches, it's like 1 Evo, 1 Wave 1. So I'll give them a little bit of time to see what it looks like before
For sure.
we get it live.
They like, Torsten came into Twitch chat too and was like, it's PTU. We'll adjust some things.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
Yep.
But it just doesn't seem like they have the ability to adjust based on all your injuries. So that's what I'm, like, a little concerned about. And that's the big one that you and I were both kind of on, is like, the injury one just is weird.
Yeah, it's the biggest part that makes little sense. And
because, like, do you
it's also like,
Go ahead.
I don't like how much it, like, okay. Once again, this is just numbers. But, like, the fact that it takes up like one whole one to regen you, and it takes up half of one to heal
Correct.
an injury.
Yep.
Like, you're telling me 2 tier 3 injuries are worth
Equals
a
a death. Yeah, it just doesn't make any
right?
sense.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the numbers and also the ratios don't make sense.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, obviously we'll see what happens. Right now we can't even see how much med gel we have left when we check.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that's still left to be done. I think there's a good chance this gets pulled, to be honest. And it was just like a little.
Really?
I mean, if they
I
can't
don't think
fix
so.
it,
I think because the Apollo's coming out, I don't think this gets pulled. I think we'll be kicking and screaming.
It'll just be in.
It'll just be in.
Yeah, it'll be in a shitty way.
Yeah.
Again, I don't worry about that as much, because it's one patch, it'll get fixed. But it's the, like, selling it as if it will be something that it isn't is what bothers me a little bit.
There's one more part of it that we didn't talk about that was in the other, like, document.
The design brief?
Yeah, which is, like, I don't know if this is currently how it's working in PTU, because I didn't die. I'm too good at the game. But it's like the distances.
Oh, it doesn't. I tested it. It doesn't work.
Regen.
It doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, you respawn.
Well, in theory,
anywhere,
what they want
any
it to
distance.
Be. Yeah. So in theory, what they want it to be, I am pretty okay with, right? Like, when you so they go, tier 3, 50 kilometers, tier 2, 8,000 kilometers, and then tier 1, 150,000 kilometers, aka your mission location, the planet you're on, the planetary system you're on. Is sort of like the range of the 3. Although I have yet to see a confirmation. They messed up the phrasing on the last one. It says 150,000 kilometers, which should be a star system, which is wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a million.
A star system would be,
it's like 150 gigameters.
Yeah, like 150 million kilometers would be a star system.
Yeah.
But it says 150 million meters, which is a lot smaller. Which I would be okay with, to be clear. Like, if you could only respawn tier 1 beds just within the planetary system, I would be okay with that. But also maybe fights against what they said in the other document where they did have the respawns at the bottom, because like some of those are going to be pretty far away from each other. I got to imagine some of those are not going to be in your local planetary system. Um,
Yeah. I don't know.
so yeah,
I'm fine with like full star system for the highest tier. Like,
sure.
why not? But yeah, we gotta. I don't know. The other thing is like, is it more like for me personally? For me to bring a medical vehicle, it's more important to heal injuries than to worry about respawning.
Yeah,
Is my
100%.
thing. Because like in the
Yep.
future after T1, like we're not gonna respawn with our gear. Like you're gonna have to corpse run. So it's
Yep.
way more important to like avoid getting annoying avoid getting annoying injuries, which is why like I think it's like, oh, I always bring a medical vehicle
Mm,
with me, if I do FPS gameplay or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, that's really all I have on it. It really comes down to get the work done. Talk all you
Hmm.
want. I don't give a shit about your talking anymore. Just do the stuff.
Yep.
Do what you said you're going to do, and let's see how it plays out, and then we get feedback from there, right? I'm sick and
Hmm.
tired of giving feedback about conversations and not about the game, right? So
Yeah.
it's way better for me to be like, all right, well, the current experience is, in 4.3.1, we could do stuff with that, but the future
Yep.
stuff, we know it's going to change, so it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now, in addition to all that, we did have a monthly report this week,
Yeah.
but we are also already an hour into the podcast
So let's
and we have a
skim.
full waiting line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, oh, it's so hard to skim. There were so many cool things. I'm trying to remember them all. As always, make sure you guys read the monthly report. It
Well, a
gives
lot
you
of
the
it was
best
Medjool
information
stuff.
about what CIG are doing. We had a lot of it was medical. A lot of it was 4.3.1.
I went right to
I'm trying
ships.
to find. Yeah, go for it. I'm trying to find a specific thing. I just don't remember what it is.
Paladin, Lot Zero stage, which is usually pretty much towards the end. Drake Ironclad and Assault are still just in their white box reviews. So, maybe by the end of the year on these guys, we'll see. Remember at CitizenCon, they just said we will be working on certain ships at certain times. Biggest thing is the Aurora and Hammerhead are getting their reworks, however minor or major
Yeah, yeah.
those are. And the Hull B is in pre-production, which is nearly 400 SCU of cargo. Another ship that is like this in between the 100 SCU and the 600 SCU kind of ranks. That is
Mhm.
like incredibly useful and incredibly like multifaceted as far as cargo goes, because it can
Yep.
probably, I mean, it certainly could hold 32 SEUs. I'm thinking like the Hull A on steroids, and I love the Hull A for everything we
Can
do with mining,
can it use
salvage, all that stuff.
32s? My understanding is the Hull C was the smallest. Was the
I don't
like
know.
first one that can hold 32s.
I don't know, but
But anyway,
it's 2025 and so much has changed. It holds
yeah, true.
300 and something SCU of cargo. Like imagine it not holding a 30 SCU or 32 SCU.
Well, it would just it would depend on the shape of the wings and if
Yeah,
they do like that split in the center.
yeah. I
Not
don't know.
not the wings, like the cargo pads. Yeah.
How about this? Do you want it to hold 32 SCUs? Because I do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the Apollo stuff that we knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a very, very exciting ship for me personally. I don't know
Hmm.
what level of excitement you have, but of all the ships in the backlog still that we know about, this is one of
Hmm.
my highest priority ones.
Yeah.
For sure. At the
I.
current experience, because cargo is fairly far along. Anything
Mhm.
related to salvage, mining, any of that stuff, keep it in the backlog until you know what you're doing. And they don't
Yeah.
know yet. And yeah, so I'm loving this
No,
one.
I love the whole series in concept. I don't super love using them, but I don't need to. I know people do.
The B can
So
land
I'm mostly
with
just.
cargo, right? As
I
well.
believe it in the description. It's like supposed to, but I think it still can have all of the prongs. So like I think like if my understanding is correct, similar to the Hull C, it does have like prong up, prong down, left, right. But I think you're supposed to be able to control it so that you can have the bottom one up so that you can land.
Yeah. I think it only has 3. Boom. But it has
Maybe.
a top. Okay,
Maybe.
now we got to look at the
But it's
concept.
definitely supposed to be able to land with cargo.
We'll take a
the
peek at
very
the
least.
concept after we move on a little bit here, just to double check. Perseus, this is definitely the Perseus elevator because RSI somewhere it says. And Drake Kraken, again, still pre-production. I don't think it's worth mentioning until it gets out of pre-production because they keep talking about it.
I was saying when we read this on stream, I was like, they can just copy paste that line and put it into every single monthly report for the next 6 months.
Yeah, like it just doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It's cool because they want to sell a big ship, but this is when it gets intense. Lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So the first one I want to talk about during core gameplay, like it's not going to be in order or anything, but crafting. For crafting, the team implemented an offline version of the blueprint service, which
you
is used as a
motherfucker, you're making me
support...
scroll everywhere. I don't know where you are.
You've gone too far. It says for where are you? Where are you looking?
Cockpit dashboards, quantum travel.
Further up.
For crafting.
For crafting. Right, there we go. For crafting, the team implemented an offline version of blueprints. The blueprint service, which is used as a stand-in to support blueprint library until the actual service starts development. And then they finished the first playable prototype of crafting in a multiplayer environment. Sweet. Cool. It's past concept, basically. And they're essentially actively working on it now, which is great. I truly am too stupid to understand what it means to have an offline version of the blueprint service.
I think it's pretty simple. My guess is like, normally it would be something like the shopping service or something like that. They don't have enough time to set it up because this has nothing to do with us, is my guess. This is straight up CitizenCon work that I'm guessing, but so having
that's
it
true.
offline,
that would make sense for them to have the prototype for it. Yeah.
Correct. The word prototype was like ding 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 ding. This sucks. Fair. I got instantly sad. I was happy when I read for crafting, and then I saw prototype, and I was like, these guys, bro, they're gonna show it at CitizenCon.
It still means post concept, right? It still means active work.
Dude, which come on, 2023, 2024, these presentations, and then it's nowhere near able to come in game. Like, dude, 2023 engineering presentation, remember? And that looked like that was multi-crew.
2022 engineering presentation on the live CitizenCon, the online one.
Yeah, like, come on, you know? So that's the first thing. But all I think offline blueprint means is that, you know how we save our characters in our current, like on our client? I think this will just... Oh, we'll just save whatever blueprints you have on your client for now. That's just how I looked at it. Offline means it's stored on my hard drive, and that's it.
All right, yeah, interesting.
What else stuck out to you? I mean, item recovery. This is a big one. The ability to disable components. I was like, oh my God. Same thing. Like, I read for crafting, and I was like, they're going to destroy components when we kill ships. And then I kept reading, because that's not what this means. It's the brick system, which again, alongside Death of a Spaceman, I think is the dumbest idea that has ever been implemented in this game. I hate it with a passion. Feel free to argue with me; it's fine. But this is straight up.
I think it's okay, but don't introduce the brick system without also introducing the system that you mentioned of being able to like unbrick it.
Yeah, but then that's duping.
Well, the implication when they talked about the implication when they talked about like the unbricking it is that it would incur a cost of both time and resources, and so at that point, like it's kind of sort of. I mean, you're playing the game. There's duping where it's like I have used an exploit to just double this in the period of like 10 seconds, and then there's like doing a gameplay loop to get it.
I get it.
And like actually spending time playing, you know what I mean?
I get it, but item recovery, you go, I would like my item back, please.
Yeah.
So the person stealing it has to play, but the person recovering it doesn't.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, I hate it for forever. And like anybody comes with an argument, I have a counter, and it's like that tells you right away that it's probably not a good system. If I can counter your thought process and we can't just go, you know what? That's a good idea. Then,
wait,
you know. Somebody's
what if
asking what the brick
wait, wait, wait,
system
wait, wait,
is.
wait. Yeah, what if just quickly, because it says it'll display a timer until they become bricked after they've been claimed by the original owner.
Correct.
If that also makes it so that I can't use it, then it's not duping. Like if it's a like a full brick, like this is no one,
Yeah, but once you claim,
right?
no, so it's that item, the person who stole it can't use it once you have claimed it.
Yeah, but it just says they will become bricked after they've been claimed by the original owner.
Oh,
It doesn't say they will be
I
bricked
can't.
only for other people,
It.
because
What do you?
that would solve the problem.
What do you mean?
If that means you're not duping, because you can't, because it means I can't use both of the items.
Okay, hold, breathe,
Mhm.
and just listen for a second. The goal here is for the person who paid money to get their
Yep.
thing back. So when they
Yes.
click claim, a system comes into place. Now, what we don't know is how much that will cost that player financially, material wise, or whatever. I still do believe the Wicklow system is like this weird way of replacing your stuff because they're going for skins. So it seems like a cosmetic thing. And that's just like my thought process there. So it may actually be play the game to get your stuff back. Okay. So
Mhm.
ignoring that and knowing what we currently know, when you claim your ship, what happens? You just get it back in a certain period of time, and if you expedite with a certain period, with certain money. So
Mhm.
let's assume this is my FPS weapon that I would like to claim back that you stole. My P4AR. Okay, so I go. You have my P4AR right now, and you're just blasting it everywhere, having the best time ever. And then I click claim. You just like America Sim, right? You got a American flag bandana on, and you're rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I click
In my Ford
claim.
F-150.
Yep, exactly. I click claim, and a bell goes off in your ears saying this item is going to be bricked in 10 hours. So you go and have a great time and blast with it, or you decide to sell it and get something for it before it bricks. Then, because I've claimed it, I am getting my P4AR back in 10 hours and a certain amount of money. And now let's apply that to other items throughout the world in the game, and because you're going to be able to insure other items in the game, right? And especially if you've what we don't know is we're going to separate the skin from the item. Remember that thing? And we all got excited about that. What we don't know is what they're going to do with the item. So let's say our resource drive stuff, weapons, and we use that example, and I click claim. What happens then, right? The skin gets bricked. Okay, cool. The guy can't use my skin anymore. That's fine. But the item, do I get the item back? And you are removing the item that was stolen from the game and then replacing it with the item that is the exact same carbon copy of that item, and it's never lost. And if it's an item that you had to earn in the game, if it's an item that you have to find in the game, if it's a ship that you earned through Wicklow, through money, through anything like that, then it just comes back. It's duping, regardless of how you want to look at it. It's this player is getting this thing back without. Okay, I'm not going to say duping. I'm not even going to say duping.
Yeah,
I'm going to say this.
That's the thing, right?
Ignore that word. Ignore it. Ignore it.
Yeah.
Let me just finish. You are getting this item back without doing the original steps to get it, or somebody else doing the original steps to get it, craft it, find it, quest for it, find it in a drop. You are not getting that item back through the means of playing the game. You are getting that item back because you paid money on the website. It is dog
for sure.
water.
And that's I do not disagree with any of that. I was literally just saying this would stop duping, because you're in the traditional current understanding of what duping is, where people are just getting a billion copies of something, right? Using an exploit to get like 100,000 P4ARs or whatever. That what I mentioned there does not touch on any of really what you just mentioned, which is like just the problem with insurance and like.
But that's item recovery.
That's no, 100%, and that is that conversation, less the bricking conversation.
Yeah,
I think
and then
bricking is still a thing that you can implement regardless of how item recovery works. That can be a good kind of a good gameplay mechanic. But if insurance is not uh, 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 essentially, if insurance does not have any reins on it, then it's pointless, right?
Yeah,
So
and it's very, very
yeah.
clear that the insurance will eventually point everybody to the pledge store, because if you are
Hmm.
losing the ship, let's say, and like somebody says the issues may be legal ones. No, like there are ways to get these warranties in the game as well, right? For ships, they said,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah.
there will be very few of them. But guess where there are not very few of them? On the website. They're all over the
Yep.
website. And that's the thing, is
Yep.
like, oh, you start thinking, well, this system of getting like, let's create a system of how do I get my stuff back? Oh, well, you'll just get the money back, you won't. And then, but like,
Yeah.
if I know I buy it on the website and I get it back without, it's just like, come on, man. This is very
Hmm.
clear that, like, I've said it a million times. I hope Chris Roberts becomes the richest man in the world by making the best game ever. This ain't it. This just is not it. This is not the way to do it. It's creating problems and then selling the solution stuff. So, yeah, long rant. We said we were going to go through this quickly, but I can't get past the brick thing. It's so bad. Like, bricking a skin so nobody can use your skin. If you really want that to be a thing, okay, but the item needs to be recovered or earned in the same way that it was before you lost
I
it.
I don't think it needs to be the same way, but there needs to be effort put in. Like my
By
example
somebody,
would
you
be
can just buy it from someone.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So like if you are spending money on it, or even like
But
a
somebody made
traditional
that effort,
insurance.
Croncy. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Even if it's like a traditional insurance where it's like you just get money back,
Yep.
right? In relation to it,
Yep.
that sort of stuff is something I've always been more of a fan of. And then of course, my big thing always with insurance has been how does this impact tiered components and crafting, components and chips and
That is
crafting,
the key
because
thing
that's
that
like
we
a
do
whole
not
extra
know.
level.
Yeah, that is the key
Exactly.
thing
Yeah.
that they have never said anything about, and we do not
Yeah.
know, because none of this matters if your upgraded stuff gets downgraded when you claim it. If they
Yeah.
go
That would
to
be
that,
fantastic. I would
which
be
is
so
why
happy with that.
like, where I'm saying, like, I don't know if this is the game for me today. If they
Yeah.
do that, then it still probably is, right? It's
Yep.
just we don't know that, so I'm still just kind of waiting around, seeing what they say. But we'll see.
All right. Continuing, and I just want us to get like some very small things
Yeah.
because, goddamn.
Sorry.
Economy. They talked about what they want to make sure crafting is
I'm
profitable.
gonna rant
Cool.
again. Oh my god,
Awesome.
I'm gonna rant again. I'm gonna rant again. I'm gonna rant again. I'm gonna rant again. What does that mean, Croncy? What is we want to ensure crafting is profitable, but then they go on camera
Yes.
saying they want a player-driven economy. The players decide what is profitable in a crafting system, not them.
Sort of. This still needs to happen.
Correct.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Because like the players will determine the supply and demand of the item, and then cool, that determines whether it's profitable or not. Yes, but that's like an per item basis. You still need CRG to make the crafting system as a whole something people want to do, and to do that, there has to be profitable in some way. Now that means what this should mean is that they're looking at how
Balancing
materials are
the
going to come into it,
cost.
and profitable, the cost of doing all these sort of things.
Yeah.
The like things like drop rate come into it with this as well, right? Because that's something that CRG influence, right? Yeah. So it is a thing. The revitalize the salvage of vehicle components also has me excited, because I don't love salvaging in general. Like I don't like the scraping necessarily, but I
love
do
it,
like
yeah.
the idea of stealing people's modules and then selling the modules, and it's just never really been profitable. Even like NPC stuff.
But then you just read bricking and you went, oh well.
NPC stuff, Mike, specifically.
But
I'm mentioning.
NPCs don't typically have the good components on them, right? Like
But they can, because it is being revitalized.
True, they can and they should.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like an ace
Yeah.
pilot, if I soft death their ship, I should be able to go and get some good components off of it or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But
100%.
at the same time, it's like you go right back to the other thing and you go, well, now you're bricking the thing, and then you read it, and it's like, well, we want you to just go and sell it. And that's the tier 1 system. And then the tier 2 system is we want you to break it down for its materials.
Yeah.
Because we don't
scrap
want
it so you can make something
it's
else,
like,
that sort of thing.
yeah, it's like avoid duping, avoid duping, avoid duping. Thank you for having that mentality, but you don't have to do it this way, guys. Like, player driven. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Running through. Do you have another one? Because I have one more major one from the
Those
thing.
are my majors.
All right, so in narrative, they mentioned new. So last month, they worked on the text of a few older contracts to align with improved gameplay flows, as well as tutorial missions that will help players understand a new gameplay mechanic being introduced in a future patch. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then chat mentioned engineering. And it's probably just engineering.
Probably engineering. Also, very quickly, I think it's character something that ties into something else in narrative. We're done with the B story. Where are you?
Our characters.
It might be animation.
Armor for a new gang.
No,
yeah, they mentioned it a few times actually.
It's animation. Sure. Facial animation worked alongside mocap and narrative to capture additional content. Blah, 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 blah. They also worked through previously captured dialogue, including for a brand new mission giver and additional lines for Amelia Boyd. Who's Amelia Boyd?
Which one's Amelia Boyd?
Amelia Boyd is the leader of the Slicers. So it's the blonde. It's the blonde.
Who are the Slicers?
The Frontier Fighters.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That is what I thought this was.
Yes. So we're going away from the regen crisis and back to Pyro is where we're going. Or Frontier Fighters / Slicers in Stanton. Whatever they decide. Pyro gangs.
Sneaky Nyx release at the end of the year.
You cope-filled. I mean, it should theoretically be possible because Nyx seems so small, but who knows what they did with Nyx.
There's also... There was once again, it's a big monthly report. A lot of it is like, stuff that we already know. But
callers,
there definitely was something in
short.
here. There was definitely something in here that spoke Nyx to me, and I cannot remember what it was.
I mean, it could have been the new gang. Some people were thinking that, right?
They talk about a new hostile faction in narrative that could imply it as well. Yeah, I don't remember where it was, but there was definitely something that was like can be construed possibly to mean Nyx. So I would not be surprised if they try for a Nyx release this year, but like
I think they're just.
I don't know.
This is the CitizenCon monthly report. They're just going to show all this shit at CitizenCon, and then we're not going to get it until this time next year. Like, I just feel like.
But
that's
I want to say, like,
is.
I'm of two minds of whether or not I want them to release new star systems, because it's like you either fully flesh out the current systems, and then when you release a new system, it probably feels a little emptier, or you just continue to like release systems as they're ready, and like every time you're introducing something like ASD facilities or the settlements and stuff, it goes to all of them at once, and then the whole thing feels. I don't know which one I prefer.
I think
they certainly could release it.
I don't think it's our preference. I think it's just like, hey, if the Planet Tech team stuff is ahead of everyone else, you just put it. You just put it out, and whether it's empty or not, like you just put it out there because they need to get the systems done, and then they can fill the content within them. What I don't want to see is these fully art-driven locations that end up bricking potential content ideas later because this is how they look, or this is where this ladder is, and all that stuff like we currently have. But if the systems are done, I don't care if they're empty personally, but that's me.
Fair. Yeah.
But ready for
we'll see.
Ready for some callers?
The only thing I want to say is there's way more in the monthly report we didn't get to, but obviously we just don't have time. Make sure you read it. Genuinely, not enough people read the monthly report. There's so much information in there.
You're gonna watch the monthly report. This is one of my
favorite things they do.
You're gonna watch the monthly report next month at CitizenCon.
That's really actually the yearly report.
Yeah, like I really don't think we're. I agree with you. The monthly report is the most important thing that they do every month because it says what they're actually doing, but
or at least what they think they're doing.
Yeah, but I don't think this particular one is going to represent anything in the near future.
Yeah,
most
fair,
likely.
fair.
I am ready for space if you
let's
are.
do it. If you guys want to call into the show, too late today, but make sure you come and do it next week. You can go into. It was too late before we started the podcast. It was
Seriously.
like already full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you go into the Discord link, which if you are watching on YouTube, will be in the description below. If you're on Mike's chat, you should go !Mark podcast, follow the link. And if you're in my chat, I'm going to ban you. All right, let's do it.
Hey, there are 7 people in the call list. If we keep all of you guys to 5 minutes, we could probably we have 35 minutes left in the show. We could do it.
Yeah.
5 minutes. All right, Space, you're on the clock. What do you want to talk about, man?
Oh my God, clock again. Hi.
I put you first. Well, I put you guys in the order that I saw you, but yeah.
There was one guy before me, but
I didn't know which order you came in. I just order that it showed. I put you guys there.
2 cents to your to the offline version of the service for crafting. It's normally done for developer, since the planned service is not ready by the online team. They have to develop an offline version that the developer can use to send his calls and get information back. So it's nothing for the players.
Yeah, that's what someone in my chat said the same thing. Is that it's mostly just a dev thing, which I'm totally okay with, because my initial reaction was like, oh no, they're gonna sell blueprints on the pledge store. That's the offline blueprint system is.
No.
Oh God, I hope not.
But yeah.
No, it's normally a developer thing. I'm pretty interested in the Hull B, because I think the Hull C trailer, when the ability to do the contracts and not go into the station to buy stuff came out, I was like, this is the first trailer I thought I get the gameplay I was promised by the trailer, because you can sit in your ship, just take the contract, fly, load, fly off, do the mission. And I was like, yeah, maybe do it with the Hull B for people with smaller contracts. I think it's pretty hyped.
So looking forward to that ship.
And I in the meantime, I checked the old Q&A, and they have 2 contradicting things in it. The one says, "Oh, we will extend the landing gear so far that it can fully extend while on the ground," and the other question, a little bit lower, says, "Yeah, it will work in segments. So when you are landed, it will unfold."
The segments one was the one that I had thought was going to be a thing. It would be very funny. That first one you say was like, "We'll make sure that the landing gear works."
Yeah, that was.
Can you imagine what crazy person on stilts that would look like, with the cargo coming up the bottom?
Absolutely shitty. No, I think they will do it with the segment, but let's see. Yeah. Grasshopper looks like a grasshopper. I don't think the automat gill will be for the Apollo, Mike, and I'm willing to bet on it. So do your bet.
Not specifically for the Apollo.
No, not specifically.
Yeah, because when Mike mentioned it, I was like, well, a good way to do this would be if it was just churning up from your cargo and then autos.
I think it's also for,
I would love that.
Just bases. For home bases or something like that. I would like to see, and then nothing mentioned about it, like a respawn charge for the hospitals, because I don't know what speaks against it.
It's sort of mentioned that it could come with, which is the UEC fees, right? So if you, obviously once again, it's not a now, but in the future you can imagine, hey, I've set my respawn at Microtech. Microtech are under the protection of UEE. Well, obviously they're going to charge me when I respawn there. The one problem that can come from that kind of mechanic, though, is it needs to be a percentage and not a flat fee, because otherwise, or even a percentage up to a flat fee, and then it stops there, because you'll get new players who are bad at the game, like myself and Mike, who will die over and over and over again, and then will be broke forever and never be able to respawn. Right?
I was about to say it. I would say until, I don't know, your first million, it's a percentage, and then it flips to
it just flips to a flat fee, right? Yeah, it's we will take 5% of your money until you can afford to pay 20K or something, right? Whatever the number is.
Yeah. And I would be really cool if you lower the amount if you are good with the reputation for defection who runs the station. One
Perhaps.
last thing, they didn't mention anything about the useless med pens. So I was like, okay, why are you not talking about that? This useless gameplay at the moment.
I mean,
I
they don't.
hope
Yeah,
we-
they didn't really talk much about med pens or med gun or any other like future potential like medical
Mm,
like active medical things. It was pretty much all respawns and med beds.
yeah.
I want to be able to heal injuries in the field and not on a
Yeah.
medbed, and then I don't care about the
Yeah.
respawn mechanics
And
as much.
for the guys who are doing the med runner stuff and they want to heal the person they saved, those 15k med beacons are far too less. So they either need to up the amount or
Yeah.
implement the stuff with, hey, if you use my med bed, this is the amount you will get charged.
Yeah,
for
they
it,
charge
so.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll get a
Oh.
beacon, but I have to pay or whatever.
All right.
All
Think I
right,
stop
Space.
here. The 5
Awesome.
minutes out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
sorry,
good.
man.
Sorry,
worries.
we talked too much today, but we
Yeah.
appreciate
guys,
the call.
you're
Thank you very much.
Just talking too much. I'm just kidding. have fun with the others. Bye.
All right, bye.
We'll do. Catch you, mate.
All right, Rockados is next. Rocka,
Anyone
can you
rock?
hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sure
loud and
can.
Clear.
All right. So my topic is I feel like there's a missing piece of the regen medical gameplay, and I feel like it's colored like Death of the Spaceman, but the shape isn't what you're thinking. So imagine Tier 0 Death of a Spaceman is you keep your injuries when you backspace or are killed. Then if you appear on a weak med bed, the med bed can either spend additional med gel to heal the injury if you can, or if you can't, it jacks you up with all the useless med pens so that you are temporarily functional.
But isn't the lore a new body? That doesn't make any sense at all.
So I actually have a
that's
lore
part of the
post.
reason why.
I have
Well,
a
I
lore
was just
post.
going to quickly say, I think that's one of the reasons why this big mission thing that we're doing with Regen Crisis may lead to a not a change in the lore, as in like they're not like going back on it, but effectively that won't be the case anymore. Like the regenning will be a new thing.
Maybe.
Is my theory. But continue,
Right.
Rick.
Yeah, I posted a old 4-year-old lore post in question for the show, but the TLDR is the guidance for Death of a Spaceman is they want how you died to affect your regen body. They have to they come up with various explanations in the lore for that, but TLDR is it's not a new body, or at least your new body has reasons to have the effects of your old body.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like they were talking about like
you
if
could
you
lose
if
an
you got like
arm.
your leg.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
your new body would like reject the arm because you just had a blown off type thing. Which
I thought
is
it was
like
your
that's
DNA
a really cool
getting corrupted, but yeah.
It could be, yeah. But it's a very cool like narrative thing, but I think it's a terrible gameplay mechanic. Yeah, I don't think there's a great way to do it with the way that people play games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you get your arm blown off by a rocket launcher, I don't think the NERSA covers cool robot arms. You may have to go to an actual hospital for that.
Yeah.
And that goes back
Yeah.
to setting your respawn at a place that could give you cool robot arms.
In
People
Night
just
City or
backspacing
whatever.
when they first come into the game just so they can start getting some robot arms.
Yeah. Hey, can you shoot that railgun at my leg, please? I want to have a pirate peg leg.
Yeah.
Can you blast me right in the eye? Because I want an eye patch. It's like, no, okay. Go ahead, step back, because just a couple more minutes.
Sure, that's fine.
Or not step back, excuse me. Rakido, step back's next.
Okay, because the med beds can only it can't actually heal the injury. The actual med pens are for extending the temporary heal. So if it takes more than like 5 minutes to get back to a real hospital in your medical Pisces, then you may need a med pen to keep your vision straight while flying.
Like I feel like okay, maybe the pen is what we do. I think it should be like a longer animation type Tarkov doing some field surgery type thing to resolve like let's say your arm goes tier 1 and you can resolve it with a long animation, maybe it's loud, people with FPS radar will see you better, whatever, you can use whatever, negatives that you want. And then that that injury, the effect that it has on your health pool could still exist. So I'll go down to like 73% max health, but I can still shoot a gun and can still kind of play maybe with
And
the
notably, after having that injury, you now don't have to go to a hospital. Like it's been fixed. You're just like now temporarily.
my health. I would have
Like,
to go to the hospital maybe
yeah.
or a med bed or something like that to fix my to actually fix
Sure.
the arm to get my full 100% health back. I think the restriction currently on injuries when they hit tier 1 is it does become quite overbearing, like almost too overbearing, that it's like I still
Yeah.
want to be able to defend myself maybe and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm right on that, but that's what comes to my mind.
So my general premise here is just that respawning in Nursa does not actually repair your injuries. It just temporarily. So that means the Nursa, yes, you could use it to combat respawn. However, you're going to rack things up if you do it.
Yeah.
And that's why you might have a better med bed somewhere else.
Yeah. It'd be an interesting level of it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I like my idea. It's just the first thing that came to my mind, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rakidos.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers for the call. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Bye now. Danger Vince is next. Yeah, Danger Vince is next. Stempec is after that. Okay, sorry. I'm like trying to prep for everybody, and I was like saying other people's names before that.
How we doing, Danger?
Can you hear us, Vince?
Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Yeah. I'll try to keep it brief. I'm looking over the kind of long-term, kind of like the health impacts, and they're also talking about death of a spaceman as they always do. But my hope is that they get the gameplay right, because I want it to be in a position during FPS combat where it rewards the careful stroke skillful player. But people who are careless and constantly run in, I believe there's got to be at least a penalty there, so you don't constantly, regen over and over again and just throw yourself in regardless.
I mean, that's the penalty of like it costing resources is one of those things, which is why I'm such a fan of the like at least this change. And the reason I say it is at least this change is because there certainly needs to be more. But
so one thing I was going to pull from my many years of playing WoW, sorry for mentioning WoW, is res sickness. So if you're not too sure what res sickness is, if you constantly die over and over again over a short period of time, when you resurrect back at your body after doing a corpse run, you start to incur resurrection sickness. So it could be like 25% reduction to all your stats.
Yep.
That has a big effect, especially if you're on PvP and you're having a PvP battle. So what
we just don't have stats. So what do you do?
We don't have stats. So
we have things that you can modify. You have your blurriness, right, of your eye, like being able to walk slower, that sort of stuff.
The game needs I believe the game needs a way to not hold you back, because it does that enough. But it also needs a way to turn around and say, yeah, you've died quite a lot consecutively over a short period of time. You've got to slow it down, regain.
Maybe you should play a different game. Like that's the tooltip that comes up. You've died a lot today. Consider putting the controller down.
Why don't you?
Why don't you try Elite Dangerous solo mode?
Yeah.
So funny that brings on a second point, and that is when it comes down to in Elite Dangerous, when you die in Elite Dangerous, your rebuy factor is dependent on how expensive your ship is and how expensive your gear is. So the more expensive you fly, the more expensive your rebuy is. So going back to what you said, Mike, earlier, was on that load screen on their future plans, if you select where you regenerate from, if there was a menu that came up and said, if you want to respawn with everything you've got, and here's the itemized bill, do you want to proceed, or do you want just to respawn with nothing, i.e. the sperm suit? I would love that, because it gives you the option to say, right, my respawn is 2.5 million, or I could just respawn for free and then just grub about and slowly gather my gear back because I know where it is. I know where to get it.
I would agree, so long as, because in Elite Dangerous, it is not a player-driven economy. No player
It's
is
not.
crafting that ship that you are trying to get back, or any of the components, or anything like that. If they
Yeah.
if they say they want to do crafting and they say they want to do player-driven things, there is really only one way to do those things, right? And that's have the players do it, and the other players buy it from the players who do it. So if we're doing this hybrid system of we're constantly selling stuff to NPCs and then rebuying it back from NPCs and then clicking a button and claiming it, and we just get our stuff back, it's like they're all contradicting each other. They all
They
like
are.
I
Yeah.
don't know how we don't sit in a meeting and just come up like just realize that. So there's either stuff that we don't know, which is almost certainly the case, or they are as flying by the seat of their pants as many of us may think that they are as well. So, or a combination of the two.
I mean, final point is you take EVE Online, you die in EVE Online, you can save your loadout for your ship.
Yep.
You just
Mhm.
pod or shuttle to Jita, and you one button press, you've got all your gear back as long as it's in stock at Jita. And
2
then
button
comes the
presses. One to hit rebuy, and then
And
one to
one
get
to-
absolutely scammed because people have jammed the price up. But yes, continue.
Yeah, but at Jita you
Exactly.
can't get scammed that bad because it's so competitive. Like
Yeah.
it's mostly
Mike,
green
clearly
in
you've
Jita.
never been me.
Yeah, I rarely have been scammed at Jita, but I definitely get scammed at my alliances spot.
And it's
Like,
always like some random bit of ammo that you had in the
Yes!
the loadout
Yep.
that someone's just selling for like 800% above the rate.
Yep, because
the
it's not
P48
that
Rs
common.
skyrocket.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was it. It was just I'm optimistic, but this whole talk of Death of the Spaceman, they've not fully nailed it down, and I'm terrified that they could muck it
And
up.
they're not going to for a while.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
like part of that whole like article was literally them saying, "Death of a Spaceman 1.0. We got more stuff
Yeah.
to do."
Yeah,
So-
I think they want to see how the stuff they explain goes first,
Mhm.
and then
Yep.
that's step 1, then step 2, then step 3. You know, and then we'll get there.
I think it was a final point as a community. If Chris mentions ever again that if you die, it goes to your next inheritance, either your son, your daughter, or your spouse.
Then you don't die.
No, you don't die.
Then you don't
just-
die.
you
It's
have
dumb.
one character. It is.
That's why I think it's so dumb. It's still your character.
you have one
It's just RP,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people RP. That's fine, but a lot of people also don't. So it's like,
Those they just get back in the game and play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, Danger. We'll let you go,
That was
man.
it,
Thank
bro.
you.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for the call.
Bye now. All right, our next caller, finally Stempek. I mentioned his name like 16 times by accident. We could bring Stempek in now.
How you doing, Senpak?
Hello.
If we get through all the callers today, it's
Great.
going to be legendary.
Great being here again.
Great having
been
you.
a long time.
Howdy.
Yeah, I want to talk about the new medical announcements.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the changes. So first of all, like the medical stuff, I like that. So like to have
Mhm.
a new resource, you needed to regen and to heal.
Yep.
Yep.
What I don't like from the, I think it was the first or second page,
Yep.
was that there's still very little like multiplayer aspect. So
Sure.
I don't really. The only thing you still do with another player is pick him up when he's unconscious. And
I would also add then where they talk about like player owned like hospital beds as well, but
yes,
they don't talk about. Maybe it didn't need to talk about, but they themselves do. But maybe the document didn't need to talk about. Of like, yeah, if you're in a group, what is like are you going to be going out and looking for med gel because it's very expensive? So you might as well. Well, it's expensive. It's expensive enough to be a good loot, right? Like if you saw one in a box type thing. Are you going to be doing that with your group? Is there going to be an element of like any sort of bonus for like for being able to have people there to help you regen? That sort of thing would be cool. Yeah.
I mean, I expect with crafting that you get better medical equipment, med beds and stuff. But what I hope to see, what we didn't see, and I think you mentioned it last week, was something like gadgets and like a medical backpack or something that you can treat people, remove their tear injuries in the field. But like
Yeah.
without
That
the
me
would
out.
downside.
prevent people from buying spaceships. So why would we want to
True.
do that?
Yeah, we would have
But hear me
gameplay.
out,
I know,
hear me out.
horrible.
Yeah, you're 100% right. So hear me out. You take one of those USBs and you get a medical backpack and you put the USB in the medical backpack. Yay, let's
Yeah.
go. Right now you can, hook it up to a, I don't know, Ghostbusters medical laser.
Oh God,
and
please
start.
no.
We love lasers. But like that could be a way that you could start healing people in the field, have an actual dedicated role for that. But because what they've said at the bottom of that document of like, we do want to improve it, but not now. Like it's I would hope that that's how you would do it. Like you've got this now magical all healing like item, so start using it in other ways.
And I mean, we already have like the gadget points at backpacks, like for mining. You can already put a gadget on your backpack. What I was actually hoping for was something around mining. Like you treat a patient that has an injury and you can mess it up. So you can remove the injury, but you can also make it worse. Like this is what I was a bit hoping for, if I could make a wish here. But yeah, like I don't want to say it's too shallow, but like it's
like think about med laser, the med tool that we have now. You don't even click on the individual leg that is clearly injured yet. Like you just click on the character and it heals them. But it very clearly highlights the limb. And it's like they just never finished it, never went down that path. And it was just like, oh, well, I can overdose that leg and then cause issues to that leg, not just blood drug level. Like, that's what you're talking about, kind of, right?
Whoops, I accidentally turned your tier 3 into a tier 2 when I was trying to heal you type stuff.
Oh, you're internally bleeding now. Well, I'm out. Good luck, buddy.
And the absolutely fantastic group griefing, like specifically with friends that you get from that gameplay.
Oh, sorry, Croncy. Took your toes, got your toes, got your ankle. Now your leg's gone.
But it would implement more skill, and I think a lot of, I mean, that was the original concept, like a skill-driven game. Yeah, we see what they do with that. And I was really hoping, like, they made the document, like, 3.2.1 and beyond. I was hoping, okay, maybe we get some more info from for beyond that is actually interesting. Like, okay, you can spawn at your base and so, okay.
I want to say I just like I was a big fan of the documents because it did lay out what they want to happen with med beds.
Yep.
But it kind of ended there.
Yeah.
And so it's like cool. I want more.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what else you have in plan for medical.
And that's why they said to the field medics. Yeah. That was what it said. Yeah, we're out. See you later. It's all about the ships, boys. All about the ships.
We should CIG for their bad communication. I mean, they did good communication there. Not in the communication what we wanted, but the communication itself was good.
Some of the communication we wanted, for sure.
Absolute last sentence, because you're going over 5 minutes.
Uh-oh.
I'm already
paying attention.
Last sentence, just for the hull B, just make it very defensive, please. Like, it's a hauler, give it good shields,
all haulers,
a bit of armor,
good shields or good armor or good HP. Like,
make it good. It's a cool concept. So just don't mess it up.
100%. Awesome.
All right, Stempak.
Cheers, Stempak.
Was great being here. Thank you.
Always great to have you. Always great to have you. Bye now. All right, Mostly Harmless is next. Mostly Harmless, you are muted, so unmute, please.
There we go. Howdy, Harmless. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Lovely.
Hi, Salty. Hope you and your wife are feeling better. I can't hear Mike.
You just muted to sneeze. Very well timed.
Yep. Good timing. I just had to sneeze.
Well, sorry to hear you had to sneeze. Anyways, my biggest issue with the medical gameplay has nothing to do with anything that they've put out just recently. My biggest issue is the death that you cannot control. We had a bug not that long ago, well, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Cruz Lux with poison.
Yep, I remember
So,
that.
I would hate if someone's death of a spaceman happened because they ate an apple.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's very important for the caveat of this entire episode of the podcast that like a lot of what we're talking about in terms of balancing or even like just fun gameplay mechanics and whatnot has the caveat of the game needs to work. Because if you are just dying all the time to random XYZ, then none of this is relevant.
But it also doesn't. Like, the game is alpha, and they need to make these systems regardless of if there are occasionally bugs related to them or not. They need to gather feedback on some of this stuff. Like, even they've tried it, like claim prices on ships and stuff. They've tried it, and then people all fought them because, oh, well, I'm dying because of this and I'm dying because of that. And in my opinion, over-exaggerating a lot of those scenarios as well. And that was one patch that Cruz Lux was. But I know what you're talking about. We die all the time to silly stuff. And I think we just have to accept that fact that you are not playing the finished game right now. None of the progress you're making now matters. You just kind of enjoy it for what it is. And yeah, bugs could be frustrating, but it's the idea that, like, are they getting the ideas right? That's the point of right now,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and I'm hoping that they'll iterate a little bit better on Death of the Spaceman than other than, oh, you lose half your whatever. And it is what it is. It's still, in my opinion, one of the better games to play, although sometimes we don't see it as a game. But
I mean,
this game,
sometimes 100%. Like, once again, yesterday when I got into the PTU and I read the mission, like, description and all that sort of stuff for the new mission, I had not been like that excited about a mission in a really long time, or like even in Quest from like other games in a really long time. The problem is that lasted 20 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's always the case of like you see those golden moments in Star Citizen, and the reason why we continue to play it and continue to want it to get better is because we see those moments and what it could mean in the future.
Yeah, and
also give it to me now.
As far as medical gameplay goes, and people who are concerned about the cost, I will remind them that there are 2 M's in MMO. Find friends.
Yep.
A lot of death can be avoided by having one person with you.
Yep. They just pick you up.
Yeah. Single playing an MMO is not a good thing, and single running your Idris is going to be a hard task in the future.
Damn it, Homeless! You just gave us 1,000 dislikes on this YouTube video. God damn! Why would you do that to us?
Sorry, I hate bringing reality down on people. Anyways, that's all I wanted to give. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Croncy. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Yeah, cheers for the call.
I think we're going to be able to get to the final callers because of you. That's great.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Good for him.
Thank you, Mostly. Be good.
Catch you, man.
Well,
and then Crosshair Crisis is the last one because somebody else backed out. So I have to.
All right, Crosshair, you're our last caller. You are currently. Oh, there you go. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. How am I coming across?
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Okay, great. I think I was listening to the broadcast a little bit of a delay, so it might surprise me jumping in here all of a sudden. But quick things just to say first: long time listener, first time caller. Love your content. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah. But the thing I'm going to get into is not so much the medical gameplay changes that we're looking at, because you guys have covered a lot, and what just was discussed briefly about. We see the game for what it could be, and we have all the hopium in the world about what it's going to be. I will say that with all the game mechanics and all the game loops and all the things that are coming along, I think that what CIG is kind of doing is leveling things up kind of at the same time, and eventually we're going to see things come to a head. At least that is the hope. But the one thing I wanted to focus on just for this call was the economy stuff tied to that item recovery bit. And I know this.
Those are the two things that Mike ranted about. Why are you doing this to us?
This podcast is not ending in 5 minutes. Let's.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to try and keep it as brief as possible,
I will
just
not
to kind of
speak
make
much.
the points. No, it's all good. But this game comes up a lot, and I'm a longtime player of it, and that is of Tarkov. Okay, and there's a couple of systems in Tarkov that I really do enjoy, that I think Star Citizen would benefit from greatly, and it would help to resolve, I think, some of the idea about the insurance issue, account-bound items as easily being recoverable. And that is if we saw systems across the board, from ships to components, armor, weapons, and everything else, and that is degradation from usage, right? So you go out there and you start.
For you. Go ahead.
I was
keep
going to
talking.
say, go.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. What were you going to say? You got something for me?
I got. I'm going to show you. I don't have a.
The item durability is in the cards. It's not 100% confirmed, but like it's gonna. They've mentioned it a few times, and they showed. I don't remember if it was the newest inventory display or like one of them that actually had durability, or like So yeah.
Unfortunately, this image is not showing durability on anything, but it is in this image.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I know it's been something that's been touched upon here and there, but it's like you hear a little bit here and there. You don't see a lot of fruition from the promises spoken or what's in the cards. But I'm just speaking to the point of that it would be great and do a lot of things for a couple of bits. And here's the bit on the economy and the whole bricking issue for, stolen items, so on and so forth, is that you don't really have to brick anything because everything has a durability timer. I mean, if you're going to use a ship component, or if you're going to use a weapon or take hits on the armor, eventually it's going to get to the point where it's relatively useless. So at that point, you're going to see people discard items, discard and replace components on ships, so on and so forth, ad nauseum. But that
I can
ties
counter
into
that, kind of. I can kind of counter that with I kill 15 of you and your mates. You're all running the same armor, and I take the chest. The chest is really good from the thing that you run. It's very much in demand. I hold them. I keep killing you guys, and I have 45 of them. I kill you some more, and I have 60, and then I put all those up on the market, and you guys all claim them back, and now there's 120 of the same thing at the same durability, essentially at the same time.
Well, maybe. I would say that, if somebody's going to take items and resell them, someone's going to buy them, assumedly, right?
And
because of that,
of course.
Right, exactly. And then that could create that cycle. But with relation to that in the economy, a player-driven economy, that is, that I think a lot of things, whether it's ship components, ships themselves, armor, everything, whatever, it all comes down to the base level of mining. You give great purpose to mining, salvaging, and all this other stuff as the components that the corporations or players themselves, if we ever see crafting, would then use in order to recreate the items that then have the durability that then gets used, and this becomes a cyclical thing that continues to drive that economy. And to a certain point, CIG, if this was nurtured correctly, could almost be entirely hands off, other than when they add new content for certain things, because what it takes to make a P4 might be very different than what it takes to make a Volt rifle.
Yeah, or it's just like, hey, the price of the amount of X copper is just, there's not enough in the world, so all of a sudden P4s are getting really expensive because they're mostly made with copper, and then CIG gets to go, okay, we're gonna increase the density of copper rocks for this patch and see what happens, and then all of a sudden the P4 prices come back and normalize or whatever. It's what EVE Online does all the time, and it works really, really well. They do it slowly. Things get out of balance often, and they just adjust and react to it, and it goes well. Like all salvage, which is what I used to do. The entire system is tanked because they added a bunch of ways to get that salvage that didn't exist before.
Right. And I mean, I fully agree and support everything that you just said there, because I think that would work. Now, I've never been an Elite Dangerous or a EVE Online player, but I know plenty of people have. They describe these systems to me and what works and what doesn't. So I kind of draw from that as well, like I said with Tarkov, to see certain systems and go, hey, this, it doesn't have to be a copy paste, but, something that does mimic what works, being implemented here for that sort of thing as well.
Because Tarkov durability is like pretty, it happens pretty quickly, right? And like in a firefight, you can damage their plate, and then you have to replace the plate and stuff like that, right?
Well, you do have an option, if you have, you can either use the traders in that game, or you can have weapon or armor repair kits. But every time you do a repair, the overall durability decreases. So there's going to come a point where like that item is relatively useless.
Yeah, there's a 0 point. Right. It's not just like infinitely using the thing over and over again.
Got it.
Well, with regard to weapons, the one thing that Tarkov does is that as your durability decreases, your chance of weapon malfunction also increases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which means your death chance increases.
yeah, because I mean, Tarkov is pretty brutal. If you go up against player versus player, your gun jams and you don't have immediate cover, you're effed in the A. You know what I mean? It's just how it rolls. But yeah, no, I just think that I just want to mention that as a factor. Medical gameplay being a whole nother thing I could go on and dissect that to death. But I've enjoyed the content of the callers and what you guys put out so far, so I was just going to leave that alone. But I would love to see that player-driven economy come to life by implementing some systems with degradation, durability from everything, ship components, weapons, armor, all of that. I think that would be a way for CIG to point towards and really kind of get that going before we even see like, beta 1.0 status.
It's there. It's in the ideas. It's just a matter of how it's implemented. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm not in disagreement. It could be one of the tools and levers that they use to calm my fears down. But I am perpetually at odds with what I keep seeing. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We know.
I was even thinking
it's
like
just the pledge store being there. It's like until we make the pledge store desirable in slightly different ways, it makes it really hard to think that they would go any other direction than that, right?
Yeah. I was even thinking like in the example. Sorry, just quickly, the example that Mike used earlier of like someone just like essentially farming their friends over and over again for like these items or whatever. Like durability can come into that to fix it, depending on like claim timers, because like supply and demand is also determined by time. So like if the amount of time it takes for your weapon to come back from you claiming it is long enough, then it may not be worth them farming you over and over again based on durability losses of other weapons and stuff. Like people still might need it right now. It's like I can't wait for you to do this. I need it right now. So there's lots of tools that they have access to, at least in concept, to make it cool.
Yeah, I'll give you one other thing too that they can add to that. Instead of just having a standard reclaim timer, even for things that are account bound items, they may have lifetime insurance on them because they're account bound, or ships that were like that, so on and so forth. But what if, even though you can ultimately always get that item back, it's not so much just an in-game timer for the claim, but a resource concern. So you'll get it back eventually, but if people are, oh, my dog is going nuts. You'll get it back eventually, but if the resources aren't being gathered to provide for that, then perhaps that makes that delay all that much longer.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my things is like insurance claims should be filled by players. Not by NPCs. If that is something that happens, then it totally changes the whole thing. But the length of the timer is like it can either be filled instantly or it can be filled in, like, let's use an Idris, 7 days.
Yeah.
And if players aren't building Idrises, then it's going to take 7 days. If players are building an Idris, it can literally take 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. No, I mean,
they have to come up with a system that, like you mentioned with Tarkov. Tarkov is pretty well-ish balanced. I mean, they're constantly trying to deal with the flea market, but pretty well-ish balanced with you are buying and interacting with NPCs, like you're bartering with them and buying from them, and at the same time having a player-driven-ish economy. Like if CIG was going to look anywhere, that's kind of one of the only games that I've seen do that with some level of success. So
yeah, the only difference in there being that like the way Tarkov players farm things just is absolutely insane. But that could be a thing on CIG's end where they kind of control the spawn rates a little bit better for stuff to prevent over farming of known things in known locations, etc. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. I agree with that. Pretty much 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where we'll leave it, Crosshair, because we went 5 minutes over. You got more time than anybody today, brother.
Oh, I feel special. Thank you.
Yeah, special first time caller. So we gave you
Yeah.
double the time.
All right, well, I appreciate it, gentlemen. You have a good rest of your day and through the week. I'll see you on the YouTubes and the Twitches.
All right, man. See you soon.
Sounds good. Cheers,
Bye now.
Crosshair.
All right, but
I just misclicked and let him go, but that was it. And I'll let you take it, Croncy, because I'm trying not to sneeze right now.
The end. Goodbye, everyone. Yeah, it's obviously patch. There wasn't a lot to it that was like we could actively do that didn't take like 5 minutes just to check out. So
Yeah.
we'll see what else happens with this patch in regards to first medical, like we talked about. A lot of numbers don't make sense, and there may be some stuff missing. But it's also only been 2 PTU patches so far, so plenty of time for that. The rest of Wing 3, I imagine. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they don't release the entire wing, but like maybe they had some stuff. I don't know. But we've got all of that still, and yeah.
I think we'll
Should be
see
a good
all
week,
of it
hopefully.
in the PTU. But yeah, I think the PTU is going to show a lot of.
I'm hoping they hide something. Like we talked last week about how like I love in other MMOs when they do their betas.
Yeah.
If there's like some big story relevant like cutscene, it'll just like cutscene goes here. Bill ran away, and it'll just be like nothing. Like you don't get it, right? So you get to actually experience it for the first time, type thing. So like not putting in voice lines until release, or literally let me fight a placeholder NPC. I wouldn't care too much. Which, by the way, I found some placeholder keys in the ASDs. They literally didn't have texture. They had like a default.
I saw one of those too.
Like red lines with like 24 pixels, like the words 24 pixel or whatever.
Yep.
So maybe there's something to that as well. But either way, I'm really excited for this patch now. This story, I've been loving this story. They've been ever since pretty much irradiated Valakar. They've been going really hard with it, and I've been loving it. So
yeah, and this specific loop at ASD or whatever is like the like Kovalex mission on steroids, right? So it's kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone loved that one.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks very much for hanging out with us today, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're ever on YouTube. If you're following us, if you're watching us right now on Twitch, make sure to follow both Mike and myself over here. And remember, it is September. So there are discounts and whatnot for subs on Twitch at the moment.
Yes.
And one thing from me is everyone make sure you're following Atmo Esports on Twitter in like a day. There's going to be a very, very cool post from there.
Yeah, sure I've noticed you guys got something brewing. You got something brewing.
There is something brewing. I'm not gonna say anything to anyone, but it's very cool.
All right.
Make sure you guys are watching that. And then yeah, that's about it. So I guess the only thing left to say is don't forget
to answer the call.
You did it.
I did it, but I didn't put the outro up. Okay, there we go. I missed my